All right, with Bo here, we're trying to build impulse control with fetch, but also build more drive. And see how he's eating stuff? He's a compulsive eater. He eats rocks. He's very close to being a zipper dog. Luckily, everything he eats, he passes so far. So you're going to see me deal with that some. I'm trying to build back up focus and tease him a bit here, and then just let him have it a few times. And so that's one of the ways I can build focus back up, is making it crazy easy for him. Like, I'm not asking for anything except for him to, out it when I ask him to let go of it. And so we're focusing on sit, break, out, and then sometimes place, okay? And so I'm going to kind of explain that as we go through this, where those commands are relevant. He does not come very well yet when he has a toy, and I prefer not to use tennis balls. They're not great for the teeth, but if that's what I need to do to build drive because he loves them, that's what we're going to do for now. I need to get one with a string on it though. But he doesn't hold on to toys really badly. If you're really struggling with your dog not letting go of a ball, you need to get ball on a string. It's super important, but it works for this dog. Okay, so we're going to start outside. You'll see a huge difference when we move inside, but we're going to start outside. And again, the commands are break, which I try to say before I throw it, or I say out before I throw it, which means you can't go and get it. I also always say out whenever I go and reach for the toy. He doesn't have to make a big deal and back away, but he does need to disengage from the toy. Okay, he's very young, so I'm not asking for a lot right now. That's the bare minimum. He knows place and sit really well. So those are our commands that we're adding in. The moment his butt hits the ground for sit, I want to be able to say break and release the toy immediately. This needs to be fast. And if I need to build drive because maybe I've given him a correction, I'm going to do sit, break, 4 or 5 times in a row. Really easy, really fast. It's important. That's a really important aspect to this. I still say out when I go to grab the ball though. That's a really important factor here. Okay, so I'm going to find some specific moments. Right here, you see me just petting him. I don't always say out and take the ball or the toy away right away. Sometimes I'm just like, yeah, good boy. Some dogs you can't do that with. Maybe they get growly, you have guarding issues. That's not him. I don't want him to think I'm always going to take it away from him. Sometimes we're just going to celebrate together, and it's going to be exciting. So you'll see me petting him some. So I'm going to do at least 5 easy ones in a row, which means I ask for a sit, he sits, break, immediate release of the ball. And then here, I just kind of pet him a bit, first before I ask for an out. Sit, break, release right away. Call him back to me. He's been going to place, that's on his own. His come, we're working on later. So I don't go for the ball right away sometimes. And then another easy one. He sits and I release it right away. This is to build fun, drive. Really important to do this most of the time. Ask for easy things. Okay, so what do corrections look like? Good boy. Sit. Break. Okay, so I'm going to slow it down a bit. I say out. I pick up the ball, or actually no, the ball rolls, and so that gets him excited. Look, he's still thinking about listening, but I can tell he's going to go for it. So I grab the leash and pop and release and go to pick it up. I don't say anything when I pop the leash. I know that's uncommon. Normally I'm like, no, correction, set up my no. This is different. I want him to feel like he can beat the correction. And so that becomes a game in and of itself. So I don't say anything. And that's kind of important. That tiny tweak has made a big difference recently when I've started doing it, something I learned from another trainer for play. And so you literally want to say you're out, go to get the ball. No matter what happens, the dog is not supposed to go towards it if you say out. Now, here's the thing. I wasn't set up properly. I should not have said out until I had already had the leash in hand. So I learned from that mistake. Try not to do it again. And hopefully you will too. The leash should already be in your hand before you ask for your out or your sit, place, all of that, leash in hand, because the dog gets very aware that you're grabbing the leash, and they'll fix themselves before you even have a chance if you keep grabbing the leash to give an interruption or a correction. So you want to already have that leash in hand. So just a quick example here, you should already be holding the leash when you say you're out. That way you're ready if your dog doesn't listen. And because that was harder with the ball rolling away and he was corrected, we did some easy, fast ones after that. Now, the really important part is teaching out with movement. So I say out, before I pick up the ball, and then I put the ball down, move it around. I can't bounce it yet. I did try that, and even, with a correction, it did not work. He was crazy. So basically, I'm just low-key moving it around. And when he hesitates and he doesn't go for it, then I release him right away. He did great with that, so we do some fun, easy ones. Sit and break. And then out, sit and break, over and over again.
Good boy. Good boy. Sit. Break. Good.
So you saw that, right? He didn't sit, so I just give a pop of the leash. I don't say anything. Let's say I pop the leash and he still doesn't sit. Then I say no sit, give him a chance to sit again. And if he still doesn't, then I might do a little double pop of the leash, or I might do leash pressure guidance. I have to play around with that if that happens.
Out.
It's so important to know if your dog's going to be successful or not. Notice I put myself in the middle and I just did a light bounce right there. And the moment he didn't go towards it, it was an immediate release. Good job. So that was really great. So I'm just going to repeat that.
Out. Break. Good boy. Good job.
Also notice for this specifically, when I say out and I don't let the dog, go towards the ball, I'm using place. I highly suggest that with puppies because it can really help having that boundary. Once they know place, of course, having that boundary to not, go towards it just makes it easier. So I like to use place in the beginning stages of this. Now, I really love tug, and so I wanted to include an example of that, and also working inside the house where he's more focused and driven than outside. And so it's really a lot of give and take. I'll let, him pull, and then I'll pull, and then I really move it around because I need to with him. Like, he needs a little bit more encouragement, at least at this stage. So make sure you make that adjustment for your dog. Otherwise, you might accidentally be making your dog crazy and they can't focus or listen because you're amping them up too much.
Out.
So that was a great out right there. And then now I'm doing a little bit of proofing and I'm ready with the leash. Look, this is why place is so important for puppies. They need to know it. They need to know it before you move on to this stage. And so then he does so good, then I release him to get the toy and we have a big celebration about it.
That's a good boy. Kill it. Yeah. Good boy. Yeah, good boy. Tug, tug, tug. Tug, tug, tug. Out. Come. Place. Break.
Tug is great because they have to learn it two ways. One is if I'm not touching the tug toy at all, I just say it and they have to let go of it. And then two, they have to let go of it if I'm holding it, and that looks a little different.
Good boy. Place. Good boy. Out. Break. Yeah, good job. Good boy. Good boy. Out. Place. Break. Yeah.
Okay, so it's hard to see here, but my arm is in motion. And then see how I tuck my elbow in? That's me freezing. I freeze for a half a second before I say out. So that way there's no conflict. I'm not continuing to move the toy around like an animal, like it's live. So I freeze, then I say out, okay? He outed beautifully. I say place. As soon as he goes on to place, I don't even ask for a sit or down yet. It's break and release it. Eventually I'll add a sit or a down, but for now, this is the stage we're at.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, good job. Oh my goodness, you won. Oh my goodness, you won. Yeah. Out. Good. Place. Break. Yeah. Good job, buddy. Good boy. Out. Good.
Now, did you guys notice how I slowly took the toy away? If I just rush in and grab the toy and just step back quickly, that's going to encourage him to reach out and grab it. He's a young puppy. I want to make this as easy as possible for him right now until I don't. And then I want to purposefully challenge him. So just keep that in mind, is that I'm not moving the most naturally because I'm trying to make him be successful on that one. Now, please take note, I put myself in the middle before I actually do a toss. That way I'm in complete control of the situation. If he was to get up, I can just give a little reminder with the leash. And then look, I do an easy toss right here. And I do say break before I throw it. And as if that wasn't enough, there is a really important final step to this that I'm going to go over. We say enough. You can say no play. I used to say no play. It's just basically when you're done, all right? And you got to make it clear.
Enough.
All done is another really common command for this exercise. But basically, you got to help your dog de-escalate before you just put the toy away. So important.
It can hang out in my pocket, or I could just leave it on the ground, which I think is a little too tough for him right now. And we're just gonna hang out. And he's probably gonna get water. Uh-oh, maybe not. Maybe he's gonna get into stuff. I was just about to say I'll hold the end of the leash. Some blocking. Make him give space, get out of there. Still got the toy. Break, fine, totally fine. Now I'm gonna pick up the end of the leash. Just roll low key. I said roll low key because I knew he'd anticipate work if I picked up the leash. Anyway, enough. Just maybe a little block if I need to. And we're just gonna hang out. If I feel like he's too amped up, I can stand up and do a little bit more blocking. Hey, a little pressure. Shh, shh, shh. Wait till he's done scratching, because that's a distraction. There it is. Oh, we see, he tried to get around me. Stinker. Still working on understanding blocking. All dogs understand basic body language when they're born because their siblings have it, but then they kind of lose it or learn to push through it with humans for many reasons. Whoa, you see him trying to really go for it. He might not be tired enough, to be honest. If he's pushing me this much, I'd probably usually play a little bit more because I want the dog to be successful with enough, calm down. And so it might not be tired enough. But just for the sake of finishing this and showing you, there's a good yawn. I really should wait till he kind of sits or lays down on his own before I sit down, because clearly that was too hard for him. Normal. It's normal for a pup, 4 to 5 month old. Very, very pushy Malinois with some behavioral stuff. Good. Now he's settled, so I'm gonna mirror him and I'm gonna settle, but I'm not quite gonna lean back. I'm not gonna lean back yet. He calms down a little bit more, then I'll lean back. Looking for food. See what he does. Doesn't care about the toy, that's good.
A little bit of leash pressure. Leash pressure. Beautiful. It can be too much to ask a dog that's new to place, or especially a puppy, to just go to place and stay for duration to start with, unless you're doing like food work or something to pacify them. If you're just practicing calming work, it's all elimination based, meaning I eliminate being able to go here, 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 and then they just kind of self-settle. Or he might just stand there for 5 to 10 minutes, and then I put him away. And then the next few days we do it and make sure maybe he's a little more tired, and then he sits and then he downs. But anyway, this is good. This is good. Now, if there was barking from neighbor dogs outside, he wouldn't be this calm. But no barking in the yards today, so he's just looking to go outside. But this is great. So we relax. This is also where I could pet him when he's nice and relaxed. I could pet him, but that's probably going to excite him again. But even if I do it properly and I'm nice and calm, nice, calm, relaxing pets, yeah. Even if I'm really calm about it, it's likely to excite him and make him get up again, see? So I can teach him how to, perceive affection, a little pressure. So once he's calm, I can give him affection. And then if he gets excited by it, calm him down again. Whenever you have a dog that's really drivey or has anxiety, things like that, those are the key things that you're looking for. He hears a dog barking outside. Hopefully he will not get into a barking mode, because that's a whole nother video. Psst, hey. Hey. Why don't you forget about that? I might go back into play. Look, he's not bothering the toy. Very good. I would have just blocked and said enough again. But he's looking good. But anyway, hopefully that makes sense to you guys. I'm just going to hang out here till he settles again. Hopefully he will settle. If he doesn't and he just stands here for 5-10 minutes, then that's fine too. And then he'll take a break and crate. And like I said, next time I do it, I'd make sure he's a little more tired before we worked on enough. So hopefully he will lay down and settle.